but we do know they're not gonna have Master P and Big
Lil Webby
and Big Frida, Lil Webby, Boosie. We know they're not gonna have them on Super Bowl.
This is crazy. I'm telling you something real quick. I met a young lady one night, and she told me, she said that I'm mad at my father. What you mad at your father? She said that when she was young, her father used to molest her, and she said that she would get upset to hear her mom and dad making love in a room, and she'll bang on the door and just walk away, because he was getting affection that she's used to getting.
Ain't nobody gonna open the door. So me and my brother looking at each other. My grandmother, this all she said. And one of y'all open that door, you gonna be out there with her. Get where she had to sleep? On the front porch. But now today she say, Big Mama love you more than me. No, Big Mama did. I followed more instructions. I followed more discipline. I
never pull up with that list in the phone. When I smoke cigars, it ain't just for the show. I'm blessed from the dough and known for my city.
All right, this your boy Pop. We got another episode of Big Stick Energy here at the Den. We've been away for a little while, a couple weeks, and we back. Had a lot of things that happened in the past couple of weeks. I want to introduce the panel first. So we got a panel of people. Some of you have been here before. Some of you haven't. This is your first time. Hopefully, it don't be your last time coming in to share your thoughts and things with us. One thing about this podcast is real people talking about real issues and real things that's going on in our community, and what could we do to come together and make it better. That's really what a lot of this about. And we talk about bullshit too. And it's unfiltered, so if you're going to cuss, we're not beeping shit out. Just say what you want to say. So with this panel, we're going to go from my left, going all the way around. Just introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and if you have a Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it is, just let them know what it is. They can follow you. And also, don't forget to follow Big Stick Energy, HTX. So, starting to my left, introduce yourself, tell them about it. I'm just going to say this. All right, the guy to my left right now. This is one of my best friends in the world. This is Mr. Audrey Dixon. Tell them about yourself, Dries.
Hello, guys. My name is Audrece Dixon. I have a website. It's called audrece.com. That's AUDREECE. We do a lot of youth mentoring, and we also do biblical ministry as far as teaching as well. And my Instagram is Audrece21. So I'm glad to be here, Pop. I've been supporting him online for a while, so now it's time for me to be a friend and show up.
Hey, y'all. My name is Coco. Most people know me as Coco from Houston. You can check out my Instagram. It's Coco from Houston, spelled as the way it sounds. And TikTok and Facebook. Hey.
Okay. Hello, my name is Keisha, a.k.a. Red Snapper. My Instagram is 69 Red Snapper Smokes, so you can follow me. You'll see a lot of information from Big Sticks. Here, I'm from Louisiana. I'm a mental health clinician. I work with adults with schizophrenia, bipolar, and major depressive disorder. I do outpatient treatment, and I've been doing this for 20-plus years.
All right, now.
My name is Eddie Combo. I have a MySpace page. My bad. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm a high school coach.
My name is G. Polk, City of Houston employee, been there 28 years. This is my first rodeo. Came in here first time to the Den. Enlightened to be here. I hope I can espouse some type of information or energy to enlighten someone. So don't have a follow, don't have a Facebook, not on Instagram or none of that, but just here to partake in this podcast.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Chad Williams, a native Houstonian, 5th Ward by way of Homestead. I'm on the South 9, but follow me on Instagram at MRCW72, Mr. CW72. Happy to be a part of the Big Stick Energy podcast.
Hello again. This is Shanine, a.k.a. Slim. My Instagram is Nene68. I am a financial aid advisor, and this is a wonderful panel. I hope we have great banter and laughter, and we all be friends after.
That Big Pill, a.k.a. Chicago Chris, Dr. C.M. Jackson, out of Chicago. First time here. Big Stick Energy, as the shirt reads. Instagram is Dep97. Facebook, Christopher M. Jackson. Let's enjoy ourselves. Great talk makes great conversation.
That's it. That's it. So all right. The drink of the day is margaritas, or as I call it, margaritas. And also, we have our lovely fried ribs. If you haven't tasted fried ribs, this is going to be your first time tasting the fried ribs by way of Quad Houston. So you can also go to Quad HTX on Instagram and check us out on Instagram. We have a lot of good events coming up. We are a restaurant first, and then we turn into a lounge. So enjoy this food that we're going to have tonight. We'll have these drinks for you, and hopefully everybody get nice and toasty, and the drinks can tell the truth about how you really fucking feel about what's going on. So one thing I did mention about Super Bowl. So we had a big day here at Quad. It was packed. People everywhere watching the game. When halftime came, Usher was on. When I say these motherfuckers act like they was at the concert for real.
Yes, we did.
When I say they act, man, listen to me. People had their fucking phones out filming the TV like they was at the concert in here. Unfucking believable. So for the past 4 Super Bowls, we done had black acts. The past 4 Super Bowls. Now, the question is, will they give us a 5th one? And it's going to New Orleans. 5th, I'm talking about 5 in a row.
Already sold out.
I understand that. But you also have this whole Taylor Swift thing going on right now. So I mean, well, B already did the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so she done did that. So she done did her part. And you know damn well they ain't finna let no nigga ass Lil Wayne them do.
Nobody out of New Orleans.
Nobody out of New Orleans. You're not finna see Master P them on the stage doing a goddamn.
Don't put Lil Wayne out there like that. Hold
No,
on. I'm a Green Bay fan.
Okay.
I'm a Green Bay fan, and you know if we, because we were up there, we was in the playoffs. If we get to the Super Bowl, of course he probably will perform.
No.
Don't put my boy out there like that.
No.
Go
Listen to
Packers.
me. Listen to me.
How can you not have a Louisiana artist if you have an event in Louisiana?
No,
So there's no way.
no. Listen, talk about this.
Let me tell you. I don't know, man. I really, and I don't watch Super Bowl half times. I don't know who's really, but I damn sure don't want to see Lil Wayne. Shit, man, I can't. No. Hold on. Y'all see, y'all not great listeners.
Time out. Let him talk.
Y'all not great listeners. I said I don't want to see Lil Wayne. I can't look at that dude for 20 minutes, man. Man, that dude, shit. Come on, man. I mean, goddamn.
But here, hold on. But so here's my thing. Here's my thing about it. Now, Lil Wayne is the obvious choice for a New Orleans Super Bowl. He is. But me personally, I don't think the NFL will sign off to some shit like that. Now, if you said, I'm gonna tell you, if you say Harry Connick from New Orleans, somebody like that, then if you want to go with, but I'm just saying that's you got to look at the demographics of it. Now they got away with the whole Dr. Dre thing.
He's a billionaire.
It was great. They got away with Dr. Dre.
Yes, sir.
Rihanna and Usher there's
No
nothing,
controversy.
because it's a bunch of entertainment.
Yeah.
The Weeknd that was in Tampa, of course, he crossed over. He a crossover artist. when you talk about Super Bowl,
Worldwide.
this is worldwide. Now, us as no, listen to me. Us as black people, yeah, we're gonna say the obvious. Put Master P them up there, of course. We will, because that's some shit we gon'. I'm just saying, no, that's some shit that we're going to enjoy because we know that. But this ain't the All-Star. This is Super Bowl. Super Bowl is probably bigger than World Cup almost.
Almost, yeah.
It's bigger than World Cup almost. It's I'm talking about United States wise. United States wise. It's bigger than the World Cup United States wise because it's almost an unofficial holiday. And for them to have Lil Wayne or Master P, they're not gonna do that.
They're gonna have some Zydeco.
Hold on. All right, Chris, what you got to say, Chris?
So even though Usher was there in Vegas, Usher could get away with performing, and everybody would love it because, that's his residency, and it was in Vegas. They made the money, and then people would think that it's going to be a New Orleans act. Jay-Z might have Lil Wayne. If Lil Wayne is there, he'll be one of the acts. But I assure you, if anything, they're going to have somebody that the world loves. Even though we know Europeans, they consume a lot of that hip hop, and the Hispanics consume a lot more of it as well. Right. But they will not, as we call it, niggify this. It will not be a lot of niggardry in this.
It may have Big Frida.
So it's gonna be it might be a conglomeration of a lot of different acts.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it may be that girl Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Look at the money she brought. To.
And she in a fucking box.
When we talking about,
and the viewers are just watching her be in a goddamn box. Could you imagine if she was
They showed her more than anybody. They showed her more than they show any owners.
Exactly. Could you imagine if she was?
So if you're talking about we talking about that adding value to somebody. She brought plenty of value. She brought value to the NFL, and she brought value to the Kansas City Chiefs uniforms. People that didn't know nothing about football love her.
And what I'm gonna say is this: a lot of women are into football now. Mm-hmm. She brought more women and young people into football. But you got to understand that the NFL is a big $1 billion a year multi-billion dollars a year. So with having her come on halftime, that's almost like having, and I know y'all gonna say something. That's almost like having the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Bless his heart. It's already sold out. So that means
no. Listen to me. I'm not saying it because I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm saying it because everybody knows Cowboys are worth $9.4 billion now. Another year, they are the highest value. And all I'm saying, no, listen to me. I'm gonna teach you something. All I'm saying is, if the NFL was rigged and if it was fixed, they will be in there every year because the value of that team and the money they will generate. So just imagine, and what I'm saying is, just imagine if she's the halftime performer, she's gonna generate so much money.
Sold out.
So much money.
10 miles, hotel.
And motherfuckers gonna pay $5-6 grand just to see her do 12 minutes and fuck the game.
What would happen if they break up? Are they still gonna employ her?
No, her period.
Even if her worth is not even, her worth is always gonna be her worth. However, it's still the Swifties are not gonna be they're not gonna want to watch the NFL after if they break up, No, if they break up, that's fine. That means the regular season is not gonna be the same for the value of what she's bringing. But halftime ain't gonna change. Yeah,
she's gonna kill it.
I don't see them not employing New Orleans or Louisiana artists while they're out there. They are.
But think about it.
Texas we have our own artists, but they didn't employ them. But whatever.
But think about it. New Orleans, they got their. They only did that in Los. They only did. Listen to me. They only did that in Los Angeles. Everywhere else you go, that artist ain't from that city.
Right. That's
Well, I just really think they're gonna incorporate a lot of Mardi Gras. What it's called, first line, second line. What is it called? It's gonna be a whole lot of that because it'd be very disrespectful to come to somebody's city.
No.
No.
I'm going to tell you what they're going to put in there.
I'm saying, but guess what? But they're gonna add that into the halftime performance.
What they're going to add?
Some kind of way.
Because why? Because New Orleans, it holds weight.
Do you remember the last New Orleans?
What? No, listen. I'm gonna tell you before you get the mic. Before you get the mic, I'm gonna tell you what they're going to incorporate. Listen to me. Listen to me. What they're going to incorporate. Grambling and Southern, the bands. If they don't incorporate nothing else, they're going to incorporate Grambling and Southern bands. Everything else,
because they don't really want the acts like that.
Because the other shit, they don't really want that.
Pop. They talking like this the first year of the Super Bowl ever been in New Orleans.
Correct. That's what I just asked. Do you remember the last New Orleans act? Aaron Neville.
I know you're not. You know it's been there previous years.
Aaron
what
Neville.
I'm saying is, why y'all think this year they gonna incorporate a New Orleans act? Because the world is more sensitive now. No, they were sensitive. The Super Bowl was just there 5 years.
When Baltimore over that money.
When Baltimore and San Francisco played, and they didn't have no. They didn't have.
It was Beyonce.
Yeah, who was it?
It was Beyonce.
Beyonce. Oh, well, that's close enough then, I guess. So. Yeah, they gonna have the boom box or the whatever. Yeah, they might well have
We'll
U.S.
see.
band.
We shall see.
Go cool.
All right. We're gonna break it down. We don't know. We just speculating, but we do know they're not gonna have Master P and Big
Lil Webby
and Big Frida, Lil Webby, Boosie. We know they're not gonna have them on Super Bowl. Now they'll be on.
Look up and see Sexy Red.
Now they'll be doing a show on Canal Street somewhere during the Super Bowl time, but that's just what it is. And one thing about New Orleans is a good place to have a Super Bowl because of the closeness of the proximity of how it's worked out there. So enough about the Super Bowl. We're gonna talk about something else. A few weeks ago, on Super Bowl Sunday. There was another mass shooting, this time at another church, a mega church. And my thing is, who in the hell wakes up in the morning and say, I'm finna go shoot up some people? The psychology of some people is just fucked up. Like, I never understood. We all wake up in the morning. We all have an agenda of what we're going to do. We're going to go to work. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But you got these stupid motherfuckers in the world that just wakes up and say, I'm going to just go shoot everybody.
But they pass as normal.
What? Yeah.
They didn't come out the
middle. But my thing is, Chris, how do you wake up that morning saying that? Like, I'm just finna get up and just go shoot a motherfucker, like, for no reason, kids and all.
And to add, the lady had her kid with her. It was a child. Under 10, right? Yeah. 7 years old.
I
That's
say
sad.
a lot because you've heard me say.
Go ahead, Chris.
Relevance is a hell of a drug. People just have to be relevant. Everything is a competition. See me, hear me, blue hair, green, everything. Here I am. Because people have a self-esteem issue. You got people I just want to just kill just because it's something wrong. That's just the mindset of people. But we want, there's something wrong with them. No, it's a distraction.
No.
We wake up with distractions because we don't wake up with something else better.
Our mental health expert we have here. What you got to say, Red?
Look, mental health is real. This person, she wasn't stupid. She was sick. She was just sick. And she didn't get sick overnight. She been sick. At some point, she reached her breaking point. It could have been a voice told her to do it. She probably had schizophrenia. I don't know what it was because I don't know her. But at the same time, that is a mental illness and that is a sickness.
Is that what they've documented?
So yes, because I'm sure she had psychological evaluation in her histories. I don't believe she just woke up.
What you're saying,
even if she did not go to an actual psychiatrist, she still was probably struggling with the mental illness all her life. So there may be no documentation. But however, the mentality, that ain't overnight. And that's not stupid. She was sick and been sick.
I assure you, that's not gonna stand up in court.
My thing is this here. Okay, yeah, it's real mental. But if you want to kill somebody, shoot your damn self. Cause you killing little kids, they innocent. You killing innocent adults. 9 times out of 10, when you go do a massive shooting, what end up happening? Yo ass. So go on, kill yourself. Yeah, what that one?
Society
I want
care.
her to kill herself so she won't injure innocent people.
Society
You know what I
care. They
mean?
let her
Because you
walk out of their
gonna ain't
lives.
she dead now, right?
No, she did.
Yeah, but
They
her
killed her.
son, he messed up.
Now he got to live with this shit for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
That my mama crazy. She went in and shot some people, and I seen this shit. To do it in front of a fucking kid, I hate to say it, but people like that, I'm glad they die. I'm sorry. Because you taking the life of some innocent people, and not only that, you have your son, you have your kid there, your child there, and witness this shit. Like, your mama's supposed to be your protector. Your parents are supposed to be, we are protectors of our kids. No matter what age they are, we still gonna protect them. But you did some shit that gonna fuck up your kid for the rest of his fucking life.
She wasn't built for it.
Right. My mom come from a psychiatrist background, my mother. And she told me growing up, she said that you either raising somebody's blessing or raising somebody else's nightmare. And so, you know, we don't get the opportunity to really see the depth behind, you know what I'm saying? Because we're living in a world where everybody doesn't have a moral clause, a moral fiber. You know what I'm saying? Like what my sister was saying about stuff being undiagnosed, you know. And sometimes we see in our relationships on lower levels, you know what I'm saying? Because nothing happens into your life without your permission. You know what I'm saying? So we got to really think about the upbringing of a mentality. You know, the fatherless homes, frustrated. Everybody had a breaking point. And, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, it's innocent people that's getting hurt, murdered. And like you said, that child grows up in an environment knowing that he can have mental illness because he's known all over the world for what his mother did. So he don't get the opportunity to have a life for himself, right, without being plagued. So that's why the best thing we can do, that's why I say the best thing we can do is raise our kids in our house. You know, that's where we start at. We start there first because I saw a sign a long time ago. It says what happens here, it was a home. It happens here, it's at the school. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to start getting diagnosed with things and just like taking our physicals and seeing what we are, because black people don't want to go to counseling either. White people don't want to go to counseling because it ain't cool. And so what happens is that getting undiagnosed, because there used to be a time where we can fellowship with somebody that we know, somebody we can talk to. We got incels. People don't even really know the depths of the incels. And that's a big thing. The incel people, that's a community for everything. It's a community for everything. And so we see the repercussions of what happens on the tail end. But we got to get back to our moral fiber.
Chad, hold on. I want to hear what Chad got to say.
Well, Pop, you know, the enemy is real. By the enemy, I mean the devil or whatever you associate an evil spirit with. God is a spirit.
Thank you.
And there are spirits out there. You know, our Lord and Savior was tempted on all points. That means the enemy attacks your mind, and if you're susceptible to those spirits, you'll act on them. I'm not saying that was this particular case, but in our society, we have little the true power of evil spirits, and if we become a nation or a civilization or a country that shies away from the power that really is, I'm very full of my faith in God, and I believe that the enemy tests us, and if we're susceptible to that, you can do anything. Just like Combo said, I mean, imagine to point a gun at a child and pull the trigger as they did down in Texas there. That is amazing to me, but I understand the reality of that situation, you know, because the enemy is real.
Yeah. Just gave up.
So Pop, let me ask you this here, you know, and I don't want to seem like the bad guy in the room, but mental illness, is that just happened 20 years? Is that something new? Because, well, has it been around? Because what I'm saying is, you 46, I'm 56, Pope 306, but listen, what I'm saying is, and I know social media, so I'm gonna kill all that so y'all can't say that. Dude, when I was in school, was it mass shootings and all that? But was it mental illness going on then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my thing is,
Called him retarded.
man,
No,
hold
no,
on.
listen. Go ahead. I'm gonna say something after you.
We want to come up with all these guns, one like that. So everybody that robbed in the 60s and 70s, didn't they have a gun? Didn't they have Didn't knives or whatever? What I'm saying, and my thing is, we have made it so easy to the access of guns. You know, hey, one kid went in his mama draw, that parents got the gun, took it to school. You know, so we have, and my thing is, all these damn laws that allow these mental illness people to have these guns, we need to get on these politicians' ass. So why she had a gun in certain states, not every state. So my thing is, man, Chad said it best, man. Our faith ain't strong.
God is not present in
Our faith ain't strong.
G, you got something to say?
Right. You mentioned something about why a person would wake up and do something in that capacity. But like I was saying, what Red was saying, and you know, piggyback on her, you got 20% of the population that operates under a normal capacity. So, like she said, it's a illness. Until we diagnose that illness, till we have a good support group behind these people. Everybody is not a parent. Sometimes parents are not parenting. You know, when you can't go in some of your kids' bedrooms, when you can't figure out what they're doing, you cast them out to the side and not really, and they're crying out for help. Because if you look at them, some of these incidents that's happened, they have cried out for help. But they've been denied that proper help, though.
So by saying that, we talked about that, and I thank y'all for going into the parenting part because that's what we're about to talk about. That's the real subject of tonight. Chris, you got something to say before we go into that?
Yeah, I mean, even on the back part of that, I talk in a lot of analogies because, I mean, a lot of times I don't like hypothesis and conjecture and speculation, because if we always say what God loves is the truth, then we just have to be real with things. The majority of a lot of these shootings and things that are going on, they wasn't ex-cons, they wasn't people that was being looked for and bad folks and all kind of stuff. Like the shooting that happened at the parade. They let them come out of there alive. We do remember the church that got shot up. They took this boy to Burger King. Now, do you understand that it takes less time to become a cop than it does to get a hair license? But we don't have those types of conversations. We have the conversations about things that have zero value. We spend more time on our knees naked than we do in prayer. That happens often. So when we want to talk about, well, what's going on, when I said about something being documented, I wasn't talking about long ago. I'm talking about when something happens. Because, see, if you kill a man, you can put whatever narrative you want on it. That's the tell lie vision. We're going to go whatever it says about what was going on with him. She just snapped. Some folks do that. They snap at the post office. They snap at the police station. What's going on? Some people snap anywhere about whatever it is. Some people just, they're not built for certain things. How many of you can deal with your father's birthday being your birthday and your mama died on your birthday? See, I went through that. My mama died on my birthday an hour after I called. So as long as I know, but see, I got a lot of people that depend on me. So no matter how unstable I may be, I have to remember it's something better than me. So I got to keep a mustard seed part. We don't talk about God anymore. Well, you took the prayer out of school. You took the discipline out of school. Yeah, nobody's afraid of anything. Nobody's getting kicked down a flight of stairs anymore. So we mad at the woman. We mad at the woman who beat her child in the school. But did you look at the whole video of that? That boy knew what to say. He knew how to get respectful, and she changed her whole tone when she said, y'all have a nice day. Because she had to be a certain way to that boy to understand. Do you even know 5 kids that sit around your child at school? You breeding a Unabomber, you don't even know. But you getting your child a phone at 10, 11, 12 years old, and they don't even go nowhere. Then you wonder why it's a grown man in their inbox. Because I remember when Facebook used to have colors to show you who was a teenager and who was an adult. Now anybody can get a page and do whatever. There's no, as we call it, discretion. No parental discretion anymore. We just got it on the fire stick.
And once again, that leads into our subject of the evening. The subject of the evening is parenting. So a lot of us was born in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And a lot of us were born during a time that discipline was a must.
Arguing with
Now,
the child.
and listen to me. Listen to me on this. Listen to me on this. That saying, it takes a village, is a true statement.
I don't care anymore.
Because yeah, I was scared of my mom and respected my mom and my dad. Also respected the other adults on the street and in the neighborhood. Now I may get mad and say something smart. I never cussed them.
Don't tell my mama.
I never cussed them, but I may have a little smart remark
That you hope they didn't hear.
that I hope they didn't hear. And a lot of us got whooped with switches, extension cords, shoes,
Hot Wheels tracks.
a wooden spoon, something that your parents can get near you. Yeah. But here's my
Who
thing.
cut me a switch? What?
Here's my thing. Corporal punishment back then in school was big too. You got your ass whooped at school, you get your ass whooped at home.
You acted right too.
And your mama signed that slip. By the way of hands, everybody mama that signed that goddamn slip for corporal punishment. That was a part of
First day
growing
of
up.
school.
That was a part of growing up. A couple of weeks ago, I had a young lady. It was a young lady here, and we started. And we wasn't no podcast, and then we just started talking about. Everybody just started talking about parenting, and she had a whole different perspective. And I wish she was here right now because the shit she was saying was fucking asinine to me. Only because she's saying that's abuse, and I say, look, one thing about it, if you don't whoop your kids, they gonna whoop your ass if you don't whoop. Exactly.
How old was
No
she?
scripture in it. We don't sprinkle no Bible on nothing.
If you don't whoop your kids' ass, as they get older, they're gonna whoop your ass.
How old
I'm
was
gonna beat
she?
your ass so the police don't put you in the box.
Exactly.
How old was she?
She was in her 20s.
She
Boom.
just learned how to wash her coons.
She was in her 20s. And it was, and just to hear perspective from somebody of how she thought. Like, and to me,
Sexy Red, her idol.
listen though, to me, this whole thing about what she's saying, the whole thing that she's saying is, it's more of how these kids are fucked up now. Because they really are. I've heard kids curse with their parents.
Yes.
I could ever. What?
I'm 46 years old. My mother is 70. I'm grown. And I still will not cuss in front of my mother. Only because of the respect thing.
Honor.
I'm going to open the floor, let y'all talk. Chris, what you got? Hold on. Chris got something to say.
Do
What
you know, all right, in Chicago, we have alleys. New York, they got alleys, some areas. Do you know children nowadays walk down alleys on their phone? Like it's all right. These kids walk all kinds of places just willy-nilly, alone. I've had, it's the upbringing. All I asked you to do was, I had a situation with a sister. I knew she was on her way to her car. I knew where she parked. I walked out. this ain't you, because I know this ain't you. I said, where you park? Because I do this all the time. Where you park at? Oh, I'm all right. You all right? I said, listen, it's dark out here. If I walk to my car and somebody got you bent over the hood of your car riding you out, and you holler for help, you want me to say, handle it, you all right? I said, sometimes all a man wants to do is just be who he is, because we built that way.
Yeah.
I ain't ask you for your name, your number, none of that.
Yeah.
It's just some type of effort, but that goes by how you're raised. You can't even open the door for somebody. They walk in like you work here. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Exactly.
Just say thank you.
And before I let you talk, Coco, a lot of times women understand that every guy that's being nice to you ain't trying to fuck with you.
That is so true.
Every guy that's being, it's how we was raised as men. If you, like I say, 60s, 70s, and a little bit of 80s, if you was born during that time, you got your ass whooped during that time. Coco, go ahead.
So to bring it back, I was gonna say that, okay, I was born in the 80s. So I feel like I am on the cusp of how parenting has gotten lax. So before me, I was raised very, I had to be very respectful to my parents. Don't get it twisted. My mom always threatened me, she gonna whip me, but she never did. That's all. She raised me, and she knew how to get to me by saying, I'm gonna whoop you, and I did what I had to do to not get whooped, whatever. But before that, she's born in the 60s, so she got whoopings, beating, bring me a switch and all that kind of stuff. But everybody was respectful to their parents. They didn't want to get that. They made sure they just walked in a straight and narrow and all that kind of stuff. I think before that, even before that, people were way more respectful. You can even look at TV shows that were, black and white TV shows. I can't even think of the names of it, but they were very respectful to their parents. I think it's just a generational thing. Everybody gets more lax, and now we are seeing a generation of kids who have not been parented right or parented enough, or just being whatever, because everybody's getting so offended or whatever. I'm sorry.
Let me say this. It's the parents are being friends.
Yep.
Best friends.
Buying the kids off.
I'm gonna let y'all talk from that point, but
friends. I think they're not. I think it's a lack of guidance. Lack of guidance. I don't know if it's about being friends. I think it's a lack of guidance, because I don't see a lot of my young adult friends that are younger than me, 10 years younger than me, or even 15 years younger than me, wanting to be friends with their children. They just don't have. They have a lack of guidance, and they don't even respect their own families.
It's subconsciously being friends. Subconsciously being friends.
Parenting is a hard job, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in Chicago. I lost my father when I was 7. So mom raised a household with 5 boys, and she ran it like a drill sergeant, man. Wasn't scared. And so I say that I get a lot of my TV dad, James Evans Sr. Go back and watch Good Times. You see how he ran that household. He didn't play. I had an incident about 3 days ago. And you say this is unfiltered. Young lady came in there. She got put in there. She had some warrants. She say, when I get out, I'm going to whoop that bitch. I ain't lying. That motherfucker, I'm going to whoop her ass. I say, who are you talking about? My mama.
Walk with her, Jesus.
I say, well, damn, I mean, when did it come to this that you can talk like that you going to whoop that mama? I say, man, look here. What have we turned this world into? It was a shame and disgraceful to see somebody 23, 24 years old come in there and speak that way of a mother, no matter how she was raised. Like I say, again, we want to be best friends. I ain't your best friend. I'm your daddy. So don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm your parent. I'm not your friend.
Dries, what you got to say, Dries?
Okay. Like in my life, my mom was legally blind. And so, and her being a psychiatry major, she made you mentally. She wanted to train our minds mentally to know how to focus in the world. She said that you need to learn how to cook. So if your wife leave the kitchen, don't leave with her. She put some foundations in us. And we thinking and talking sometimes like everybody on the same level. Our parents some people didn't have the tools. Right. And sometimes when you see a mother and you see a father, you thinking some people just kids out of a night of passion. It was no foundation.
Had them for something to do.
And see, what happens is that we wasn't incubated in the same houses, because we all left our mama's houses not right in some form or fashion, And what happens is that, we dealing with people, but they dealing with us too. But my mother, being a parent, she was transparent. She was transparent. And the fact is that I had to really, like we said earlier, I was in my house one day and I had a party. My mom brought her friends and I had my Heineken. I sat right there and popped my Heineken up. She said, "You want to drink that liquor right there in front of my face like that?" I'm 46 years old. No, because I did it unconsciously, right? But even though her friends that's with her turning up right in front of her, but it's a level of respect. And that's what I did. I took my beer right outside for my mother because it was instilled. And so we got to understand that a lot of people in this world, parenting is so hard because it's no book. And some people have parents that's teenagers that wasn't fully developed. This is crazy. I'm going to tell you something real quick. I met a young lady one night, and she told me, she said that I'm mad at my father. What you mad at your father? She said that when she was young, her father used to molest her. And she said that she would get upset to hear her mom and dad making love in a room, and she'll bang on the door and just walk away, because he was getting affection that she's used to getting, right? And so now we're dealing with dysfunctional parenting, right? And so now, that's why I say as a whole, parents is not an overnight thing, and sometimes you got to take accountability. My mom used to always make us say, okay, you can get a whooping. Why should I whoop you, or do you not want the whooping? I say, no, just give me the whooping because I did this, right, this. As a kid, I earned it. And then she'll give you a pass sometimes, right? But at least you knew. So that's why I say taking that accountability, is really huge, but it starts in the lower levels.
Hey, you gonna talk next?
I just was gonna say something.
Okay. I know Chad was ready. No, go ahead. Red, go first. Let the ladies go first, and then Chad gonna go
real
next.
quick. And I'm going back to people in the 70s, 60s, how we was raised, where your parents will whip your ass. I mean, belts. I got hit with everything because I was a bad little girl. I got hit with brushes. I mean, just yeah.
We know.
So
She talking about was.
So I was
She's still bad.
I was
She talking about was.
I was a defined little girl from the time I was 6. Like, I don't know what was in me. And I remember I have a twin. Yeah, I have a twin. And I remember for no reason, I'm like I said, I might have had mental issues. I don't know. But for no reason, I just would beat her ass. I mean, hit her with stick, just crazy stuff. Yeah, I just wanted to see myself hurt her. It was just something that I grew up. But at the same to say that, with my daughter, who's now 29, she has grown to disrespect me, and I think where it comes from, I did what my parents did. I whipped your ass. I mean, I did what I had to do. Discipline. I was very strict, and that made her rebellious. She was on birth control at 13. I did everything, so they can't blame when a child has a baby at 16, which my daughter did. Because sometimes you do things that you're trying to prevent, and then they still want to do what they want to do. So I say that to say we got into our last fight, and this is really, really sad and heartbreaking that it happened, but she made me as a parent flip because she was so disrespectful. And I was holding her baby at like 5 months, and some kind of way she tried to choke me. And I had a water bottle in my hand with the baby, and I was hitting her with it, and I couldn't even believe that I had the baby in my arm, and we were like actually fighting. But she told me, she said, "I tell you what, if you do that again to me, I'm going to call CPS, and you ain't going to have a job, you ain't going to have whatever." So because the system has changed a lot, we really, it's hard to whip their ass. They come home with one little scratch, you're out of there. You're parenting, foster parent. I mean, you're going to classes, so it's just disrespectful. Some kids just grew to be disrespectful.
Chad, what you got? What I want to hear from Chad. What you got, Chad?
All right, yeah, I believe just as a society as a whole, black people, our parents, I'm 51 years old, so I'm in that 70s. I was born in 72. As they work so hard to provide for us, I believe each generation has done better as a whole, as a black society. Along with that success economically, I believe we've let go of the true push for dedication, a work ethic, moral fibers. We were raised in the church. Most of us, we didn't have the option to go to church as they give kids today.
Yeah.
You know, parents today get up and leave the kids at home because the kids didn't want to go. That's unheard of in my young adult life, you know. And I think the more success we had, the more lax we became on as far as teaching the values and the essence of what makes good people, you know, and you spoil them too much, and then you expect something to come out of them that we haven't put in them. So they don't know not to curse around an adult because they curse with their parents at home and it wasn't corrected then. So why would they respect me and they don't know me? You know, we would never, I don't care if I was miles away from home, I felt like, and there wasn't no cell phones, there wasn't no way they could get in contact with my mother. And I'm way downtown, I done caught the bus downtown, but I still had the fear that it would get back to her, you know, and so kids now, it's no holds barred. You know, we have planted seeds and walked away from these kids as if they're going to learn it on their own, and we're surprised when they function the way they function. And as a society, I believe we've got to get back to teaching our kids, you know, and until then, like I said, if you don't whoop them at the house, they're going to whoop them outside and bring them home to you in a box.
All right. Chris, before we get to you, let me let Slim talk. Slim, I know you got some things on your mind. You look like you got something on your mind. Come on, pretty lady. That pretty
Thank
chocolate
you.
back there. Come on.
So I totally agree with everybody. Everybody has different backgrounds, different ways of parenting. But for me, I was born in 68. So you had to do exactly what Grandma said. Grandma raised me.
Man.
I'm an only child.
Man.
My mom was here in Houston. I was raised in Oklahoma. For my children, I talk to them and explain things to them for understanding. I whoop my kids. I have a son that's 22 and a daughter that's 28. I whooped them once each in their life. I went through what some people probably cannot go through. I was married 14 years, and I told this story before. And my husband had a child outside of the marriage. Cheating is one thing, you know, and it's hard to come back from that. But when a child is born in your marriage, that's a different level of hurt. I could not explain to my kids that hurt. I acted out. I had to deal with it. But at their ages, I still never put their father down. I still never said, that sorry motherfucker, that he did this and that. I still never did that. They asked questions as they got older. They saw, because he ended up marrying her. I left him. And he ended up marrying her. Mm-hmm. And our kids were raised together. I had my son while we were still married, but we were separated. It's a difficult thing for a child to have to go through that, as adults have to go through it. But as I talked to them, as they grew, they understood. So the parenting for me, I had to talk to them, and they talk back with me. I don't party with my kids. I still don't. They do their thing. I do mine. They still respect me. They still don't curse in front of me. When my son say, damn, he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, mama. Real quick. You know what I mean? So it's something that you have to just explain to certain children. Some children, you got to beat their ass. And I don't think that I wouldn't go upside his head, because he's 6'6". I will choke him out if he does something that I don't agree with. So that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's different levels that you have to do with certain children. Some you got to beat their ass. Some you just need to talk to them. I really love the way your mom you speak about her so, just you love your mom, and you learned a lot from her. A lot of times you got to remember the things that your mom spoke to you about. She spoke it into you, and you remember that. I spoke things into my children. I'm not saying that other people didn't, but I'm saying you remember the words that come out of your mouth when you speak to a person with respect, and you let them know why they're getting in trouble. Why, we have to have the talk as black children. That's a talk that people don't understand. Other races don't understand the talk that you have to have when it comes to being stopped by a police officer. Women have to get stopped. Men have to get stopped. That's a talk that you have to have with them as a child. So that's all I had to say.
All right. With that being said, we all seems like we all parented different but the same, if it makes sense. The results of the kids. Before I go to Chris, one thing about when you're a parent, and I tell people this all the time, instill what you instill in your kids and trust and believe in what you instilled in them, so when they go out into the world, you trust them enough. You ain't got to worry about your kids. Everything I instilled in my kids, I trust my kids enough. I know what type of kids I have. I knew that since they was born, what type of kids they were going to be. So everything we instilled as a parent, we instilled in them. When they go out into the world, I don't worry about what's going on with them because I know I did my part. Their mothers did their part. Now they can go out into the world and do what's right for them. And I ain't got to worry about, oh, shit, let me call my son and see what the hell, I ain't heard from him. He ain't up to no good. Nah, I don't talk to my son sometimes for weeks. But I know he a good kid. And he on the right path. I don't talk to my daughter sometimes for days. I can't say I don't talk to my daughter for weeks. That's not true. But I know I talk to her. I wouldn't talk to her for days, but I know she's good. And if she needs me or if they need me, they will call. So it's about what we instill in our kids as they grow up and as they go out into the world without us. Chris, what you got to say, brother? I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. The one, all of us, it's 9 of us in here that are talking. We all have different experiences. The one thing that's consistent that we always that we have to remember is the respect. It's just the respect. When you have respect for a parent, you do what my mother didn't repeat herself, and she told me that. If what I said to you mattered, you gonna remember it, boy. My curfew was 11 o'clock every day. She said, I need you to call me every hour to let me know that you're good. I'm not trying to low-jack you, but I don't trust everybody with your safety. I used to say this to my ex-wife. She didn't understand that. When you call me and you tell me you somewhere, if my phone ring and you in danger, I know where to come. But if you in spring, then what the hell? Why didn't you tell me? So just think about that. If it's about the lessons. She said she disciplined them one time, but they understood it. He's still 6'6", but he know he's not finna get ignorant. Think about the distance of spring to here. So spring to here is 26 miles. So it's roughly a little bit of time. My curfew was 11 o'clock. I came home at 11:15. I couldn't get in. Now, I had to get from this is in Chicago, from here to Spring on the bus. School was tomorrow. I'm knocking on the door. Who is it? It's me. Me who? It's me, Chris. She said, no, my son Chris is in his room because he know his curfew is at 10 o'clock. And he knows that if he was going to be late, he knew to call here in a sufficient amount of time. I know what you're going to do. That's why I know how I've raised you. But see, and never ever think whether you've heard it or not. You're not a mama's boy. Because, see, you remember the things that your mother said. We all have done that. Because I bring up a lot of the stuff that my mother said, my father said, all of that. Because it's about value. See, who you are is the people that you've been around. See, who you are is who you attract. If you got rats around you, you need to look in the mirror. Somebody lying. Either they want to be you or you trying to give off a different presentation of who you are. There's nothing wrong with any of us. It's about the respect issue. Your children will respect what you say in public and in private. Do we remember the Cosby Show when Vanessa came home with that makeup? Because she let another person be God instead of her mama? Mm-hmm. And she walked in and she was looking like, ooh.
And Claire got on her
and
ass.
The fear she had of her mother, Claire ain't never beat nobody. The fear she had of what her mother was gonna do. Because it was the tone. Animals respond to tone. Children respond to tone. But when you're trying to be your child's friend, you buying them off. They PlayStationing and as long as they coming home, you good. But they want it for murder. No, not my baby. This nigga's a terrorist. What the fuck you mean? This boy's a terrorist. We even forget about that. Listen, we forget about that part with Mike Brown. When you get sent to your father, you have been a complete fuck up at home with your mama. And they wasn't even together. So forget what happened. We don't talk about the little things. The children don't listen now because they don't feel like they can identify with you. You ain't never been through nothing. Some of y'all cheese been in slices all your life. You ain't never had no block cheese.
Man.
So you don't really know what's happening.
Talk about it.
The hardest thing you melt on earth.
You're ashamed. Wick still give it out. See, you're ashamed to slide that card. See, we all had food stamps.
We had the paper.
Stuff. See, we had that paper. They even made the EBT card. They called it Link in Chicago. It was black. You slide it like an old credit card now. See, yeah, you slide it on in there. See, I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't no Save-A-Lot. The low end, it was black and white. All the stuff was black and white. It said Raisin Bran on there.
Yep.
Cornflakes. That's all it said.
A black and white box.
So now you go somewhere and it just says Fruity O's.
Yeah.
Fruity O's. No, they're the generic Fruit Loops. You see, so everything is about everything. The classism has gotten horrible now. Everything is competition. Everything is competition.
And you know, and I'm gonna say this, well, since you're saying that shit, the funny part about this, I remember McDonald's was a big fucking thing.
Man, I had three birthdays in McDonald's. I had 3 birthdays. When they cooked the food in front of you, all them burgers was laying right there in front of you.
Hold on. McDonald's was the biggest fucking thing that you could go to.
Yeah.
And that's what you knew. I remember when Big Macs was 99 cents.
Baby,
Whoppers was 99 cents. Now, kids want to go to fucking Papa Do's and go get crab fingers and go get crab legs.
And they made all F's.
When a Frosty, when a Frosty was this big, and it was thick as hell. It was.
Pop, I got one.
Yeah, what you gotta say, Chad? Hold on. What you gotta say, Chad?
I got one for you. Most Sundays, I raised my kids in church. I had 3 kids. We all go to dinner. That was a thing for us. After church, we was going to have dinner with the family. Everybody go out. Okay. This is the actual conversation in the back seat. You know, today we gonna go to Luby's. No, I don't like Luby's. How about we go to Chili's? Nah, I'm tired of Chili's. How about we go to? He said so. Me and my ex-wife, we just listening to him. You know. How about we go to Papa Do's? Yeah. I like Papa Do's. Let's go to Papa Do's. Just say, my daughter, nah, I'm tired of Papa Do's. And so what we started hearing was how different our childhood was. Because like you said, Pop, you say if I get to go to McDonald's, the rarity in that of us having an option, you know.
Hey.
If I went to Piccadilly's at North Line, it was, bruh. You swear, I'm steak 48 in my mind, baby. I get to get Jello too. But it was so common for them that this is the environment that we created. It was so common for them to have the option that they were sitting back going, nah, you know, and I'm just saying, we did that to them, you know.
Before I let Combo go, I'm gonna say one more thing about Pizza Hut with the red cups.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gaddis, Mr. Gas. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Combo. Go ahead, Combo.
So, this is a touchy situation that we're talking about, because if it's one person I owe my life to, is my grandmother. Man, you know, when I was young, I thought she was mean. I thought, you know, she was strict on me. But let me tell you what she did. She saved my life. Those strict ways, those mean.
Remember it.
Sometimes I couldn't go certain places, and I say my friends going. When you get grown, they ain't gonna be your friend. Y'all gonna go separate ways. You ain't gonna know them. My grandmother had a 6th grade education, but she was one of the smartest ladies I ever met.
She was learned.
Man, right now today, I be out, and I might be, goddamn it, having a great time, and I know I'm finna do something that might cost me. Guess who voice I hear?
Mm-hmm.
Big Mama.
Big Mama.
You know what I mean? And so here's the caveat to it. My grandmother whooped us with a stitching cord, and it wasn't never child abuse. So right now, I talked to my older brother, and he's still mad about it today. You know what I told him? I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna speak for me. Boy, every stitching cord whooping I got, I deserved it. I say, so guess what? I ain't mad at Big Mama, cause you know why? I ain't never been to prison. Hey man, I done had a great life. If God take me tomorrow, I won't complain.
Yep.
The next thing I'm gonna tell you is this here. Big Mama, she stood on what she said, and at curfew. So my sister, my older sister, she was a little cantankerous, and Big Mama on school days, we had 8 o'clock, be in his house. Shit, my sister gonna buck the sister. Grandmother locked that door. We sitting in the front living room, maybe looking at MASH or something. And she knocking on the door. Y'all don't hear me knocking them? Ain't nobody gonna open the door. So me and my brother looking at each other. My grandmother, this all she said. And one of y'all open that door, you gonna be out there with her. Get where she had to sleep? On the front porch.
Front porch.
But now today she say, Big Mama love you more than me. No, Big Mama did. I followed more instructions. I followed more discipline. I say I love you a whole lot because you taught me what not to do. I told my big sister that. Hey,
right?
Say, and man, we all have had different upbringings, but you know, to say this, and I'm gonna release the mic. My daughters, I'm like Slim, man. I ain't have to whoop them. First, I installed that fear of me. What I say, that's it. Because don't nobody love you more than I do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So no, you ain't gonna agree with everything I say, but you better do it. You know what I mean? And my daughters, they had cars at 15. You know, my grandmother, one of her said, make it better for your kids than it would for you. And we did that. They had cars, but let me tell you something. When they didn't do right, shit, nigga, give me them keys. I'm gonna run this gas out.
Right?
Yeah. And the next thing is, man, this crew and Pop, man, y'all do a great job. I want to say that. I don't want to wait till they turn the camera off. You know, I don't want to wait till we go to our grave. Y'all do a great job, man. Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. You know, like I say, one thing about parenting is it's a hard deal. It's a job. Just like marriage, it's a job. So, you know, and instilling things in your kids and what you, because I got my ass whooped all the time.
Talk
I
about
got
it.
my ass whooped in church. And one thing about it, man, Sunday morning came and had to get up, and I'm like, I don't want to go. And I got my ass whooped so many times just to go to church. And I can remember one morning, it's 9 of us living in the house, in a 2-bedroom house. It's a bunch of us. We packed up in this motherfucker.
You have a lot of siblings.
It's just me and my brother, but we had cousins and all of that in there, right? So I remember one Sunday morning we wake up and it's my time to take a bath because we all took turns in the bath, and I still to this day I never understood why we use the same bath water on some of the people, but that's a whole nother story. But I remember waking up and I'm just mumbling shit, bullshit to my mama, and the door closed, and I ain't thinking she listening on the other side of that door. Man, when I say I got my ass whooped, oh, that's how you feel? Come on, let me.
Mama, no.
That whole little, that shit there. Shit, I feel like I'm the Heisman Trophy winner. I do this shit so much, but man, I learned from all the ass whoopings I got that, yeah, they really do love me because they want to see me do the right thing and be the right person. Because exactly, because when I look at a lot of guys that didn't get that, I see where they at in life, or if they still here in life, because it plays a difference on whether you get your butt whooped or not. It plays a huge difference in your life. The discipline that the parents give you, it's a discipline for a reason. And not only that, when you got that discipline at school, it was a discipline for a reason. I hated getting in trouble at school because my coaches would whoop my ass.
Mine too.
They put that wood on you.
And they put the powder
They
on
put
your
that wood on you.
Right. If you were in sports, that's where you would go, to the coach.
To the coach.
And you was a
I
coach.
remember being in football practice in the 8th grade, our coach brought a switch to every practice. And we had a little bit of pants on with the legs are out right there. And that's where he hit you at, on the back of them legs, right there, every time you fucked up on the play.
What city you from? What state? What city and state?
It's Houston, right here.
Where you from?
Houston, Texas.
Can I touch on that respect
Yeah,
part?
go ahead. Hold on.
Let me touch on that, to finish on that respect part. When you have that, I had a situation. My girl's son, 6 feet, 15 years old, 285. His father was 6'5", 300. He told me when she and I started dealing, he said, Chris, let me tell you something. If he ever raise up on you, put him down. Then call me, and I'm going to finish it. Now, it was him, his little brother, and the baby sister. All of them went to the same school. What's the rules when it's time to go home? Everybody come home together. They both came home, and the girl wasn't with them. They talking about somebody else picked her up. Oh, we had to meet Jesus right that night. So I made the little boy walk home. That's probably from here. I made him walk home from probably here to Legacy.
What the fuck?
I'm driving right here. I'm driving beside him.
Not
And
legends.
he had to have a brisk walk. He had to walk home. If he stopped walking, he got out I got out and dealt with him. So the mother disciplined him. She put that wood on him. She had my Masonic paddle. She put that wood on him because he was too big to be whooping on. So he put his hand back there. His hand got caught. He go to school, his hand a little swollen. The little boy, little brother thought that I did it. I got a phone call. DCFS got all of them. They're talking to me as if I had done it. They said, well, she said that she did it, but we've heard another story that said that it was you. I said, well, okay, well, hold on. I'll be there in 10 minutes. I got there. When I walked in, I said, okay, she said that she did it. Why don't you believe her? Well, it just seems like the way that you were talking on the phone that it was you. And, history shows that, it's always been the father. I said, okay, well, I did it. What y'all finna do? I'm dead serious. I said, did you ever ask him who did it? I said, who put who put you with the paddle? And he said, my mother. I said, y'all never asked him. I said, I never touched him. I wasn't even in the house. But he got disciplined by his mother. But you all thought that I did it, and y'all ready to clown. I want to know what you're going to do because his father told me to handle this business. Because, see, DCFS, as what she told me, she had been abused. You know, she went through this, that, and other. She wanted to get in the system and try to make a change. Everybody want to make a change when they first start, till it just ain't going right. Now you 15 years in, and you drinking heavy, and stuff ain't changing. Now you don't know what to do. And so I said, it is a God-given right for you to be able to discipline anything that you brought into this world. I'm not going to compromise any principle of truth for a friendship. This boy 6 feet 285. He getting them paws put on him. And his father stood on that. You see, so it's a difference between abuse and discipline and all this other stuff, but it's a way to do certain things. Don't send the boy coming to school looking like a raccoon, but you got to do something to him.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not about what you did to keep you, it's to keep you from doing it again. Not for what you did. It's a learning tool. All losses have to be lessons.
All right. You got something to say? Then let Drees talk. We're going to close this
very
part.
quickly. Well, my thought is, I've heard this before. I don't know where it came from, but it's two things. Like, you can say that, to bring it back around, like, why do people shoot up schools or do whatever in public? You know, be very wrong in public, whatever. You could think of it like this. As an adolescent, you could say, oh yeah, my mama used to beat me, so now I don't give a fuck, so now I take it off on the world. And then we have people like you. My mama used to whip my ass, so now I'm a straight and narrow. So, you can't always say discipline works. Sometimes people just be rebellious because they got whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like you, Pop, you said you knew who your kids were when they were youngins. You know who to talk crazy to and know who to whoop their ass. Like, I was raised, my mama talked crazy to me, but my mom had to whip my brother ass. And I never got a whooping. But I was raised on a straight and narrow because she'd look at me crazy and be like, all right now. And I'd be like, okay. But if she did it to my brother, he would never learn, So that's my thoughts right there.
Let me interject just real quick. This will be real short, I promise. I haven't heard this aspect. I heard it from if I could say one thing from a law enforcement, background. Coco. I would say my mother was widowed at 32 with 5 boys, raised in the city. Ladies, be a champion for your babies. So many times we've seen where I've seen parents, and the times that I had to interview young girls who've been molested by their biological fathers and stuff. Be careful who you bring into your household. My mother would kill somebody behind one of her cubs. So you have to have that respect for yourself, have that respect for your kids as well.
Got to see his consistency.
Drees, what you got to say before we wrap it up?
Okay, before we wrap it up, I just want to say that, first of all, I'm glad I came out tonight. I'm glad I came from Spring way out here. And one thing I learned about my life is I've been on Park Avenue and I've been on Park Bench in life. So when it comes down to, I believe that you can't have self-esteem if you ain't got self-awareness. And what happens is that even though in slavery, the main thing was the offspring in slavery. It was the whole thing was the offspring. So, as we all delved into our lives, I believe that, take what everybody has said around here tonight and just put it in the trash can. You ain't got to empty it because you may need to go in that trash and pull some out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's really good to really just have a conversation. And I appreciate that. And I'm glad I came tonight.
Okay. So
For next time, or when we get a chance, because you said current events, I want to know. I would like us to discuss and talk about, when we was talking about respect with parents. What do y'all think about that new thing that's blowing up? It's so funny where them kids are doing those challenges and they go in the bathroom and disrespecting parents.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But also, before we take this, before we cut for a second, the difference of raising boys and girls. So that's what we're going to pick up in a second. The difference, the double standards on everything because it's a lot of double standards of raising boys and raising girls. And we're gonna talk about that.
No more. I never pull up with that list in the phone. When I smoke cigars, it ain't just for the show. I'm blessed from the dough and known for my city.
So before we move on, man, I just want to say we got some sponsors. Quad Houston is one of the sponsors. The Den Cigar Lounge, which we're at right now, and tonight we actually had margaritas. It's National Margarita Day, so we had some good margaritas with Reposado tequila. Don Julio.
Excellent.
And we ate fried ribs from Quad,
So good.
which was so good.
Absolutely.
And all y'all, that shit went so goddamn fast. I'm gonna take
Too fast.
It went really fast. So we had fried ribs today. But we talked about parenting. And before we end our part on parenting, and like I told y'all before we took a little break, the difference in boys and girls and how we raise them is it's a double standard. We all know that. Because and for a prime example, who all have daughters in here that we know when we feel like with our daughters, don't have sex, don't do this, don't do that. But with the boys, go get it, like crush it. Now, here's one thing I did. Here's one thing I did with my son. I actually told my son. I actually told my son to stay a virgin as long as you can. And the only reason being is because no.
What did she say?
I mean, that too. That's
what did
true.
she say?
I didn't want him to be like me. I didn't. But also, I knew sex complicates a lot of shit. It complicates a lot of things. And I knew that I wanted him to be able to understand what comes along with that afterwards. And I was blessed that my son didn't have a kid till he was 28. I'm sorry, 28. He's 29 now. That was a good thing for me. My daughter's 25. She's not pregnant. Thank God. But there is a double standard in our kids when you have a boy and you have a girl. I want to hear from the panel, because we have men and women, and we was all raised differently. I want to hear from the panel what's your double standard, how you felt, how your parents treated you. And we're gonna start up front. It don't matter who up front.
I have a daughter, 29. So of course, when a mother has a daughter, they learn little girly things, and you tell them about, you may start depending on their age, talk to them about men, how to get respect. So with a daughter, it's much easier. Now, as a mother with a son, you're right, it's a little different. Now, I have a grandson, and he's only 5, but what I'm working with him on now is respect. And I'm working with him on identity, because when he was about 3 or 4, just happens naturally, he was following his older sister. She played with dolls, then he fighting with her because he want the doll. He don't know better. Or I have some high heel shoes laying around, and that one day I caught him walking in my shoes, and I ain't gonna lie, I whipped that ass. I whipped his ass. So I'm like, you don't do that. You're a little boy. Boys don't do that. That's for girls. Caught him one time with a purse. I beat that ass. So my thing is, you got to start young. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with being, of course, gay or however you want to call it. But at the same time, I'm kind of thinking it starts from real young. You're not born that way. Yeah. So just help. Most importantly, help your child know their identity, and that's how I see that.
Anybody else up front?
No, up front.
Up front.
Yes, I have a daughter that's 27. My son is 22. and my youngest daughter is 17. My youngest daughter is 17, and I think that with my kids, I want them to know that I'm mental first. You know what I'm saying? And it can be a bias because my son hurts more emotionally than my girls. It's flipped around because he's named after me. And yeah, and so like that, and you know, and it's crazy because my son has never heard me curse. I haven't cursed since 1996. So you know, my kids know that my daddy would never curse me out. You never get that angry at me, but yet and still, but they know I'm very disappointed. I tell my daughters a lot I'm disappointed. I tell my son so much I'm disappointed. I tell my daughters I'm very disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. But my son is very, he's named after me, so we got this oneness, right? And I had more problems with my girls than my boy, because now my mother is the only girl out of 11 boys. My dad had 9 boys, no girls. So now I'm being challenged on all angles. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just that I'm learning as I go. I'm freestyling because I'm not coming in premeditated. Father, this is what it is. No. I'm just learning as I go. So there is a bias when it comes down to that because each kid needs you in a different form of fashion and in a way.
And the mic on down. Eddie, what you got to say, my brother?
Well, I was blessed with 2 daughters. And one thing I learned in parenting, that the surest way to be unfair is to treat both of them equal. And one of them, you know, they chose to play sports. They kind of followed my footstep. And the other one didn't want to play, you know, but whatever they wanted to do, their daddy was going to support them in, you know, and so they took different paths, and they was very different. But now what I love about them now is their best friend is their sister. You know what I mean? And so I was hard on them in a sense. I actually might have been. They might have should have been some boys. I was so hard on them like that. You know, and when I'm saying that is, I wanted them to learn how to be held accountable. I wanted them to learn some discipline. I wanted them to learn some responsibility. I want them to learn how to work well with others. I want them to learn how to handle situations. I want them to understand that everything ain't gonna be all right every day, but it ain't what's happening, it's how you handle it. And you know, they're handling it great, and I'm so proud of them. And you know, I'm a great well, I ain't no great grand. Yeah, I'm a great granddaddy. And them little babies, when I see them, my eyes just glow up, because I felt like, say, man, I'm a little dude out of Fifth Ward, man. Shit, I did pretty good with these girls. You know what I mean? Especially my background growing up with women. You know, when I first had them, I thought God was cursing me. Oh man, he finna put it on you now. But he blessed damn fools like me too.
What we got in the back right there? What you got to say, Chad?
All right, as a father of 3, I have 2 girls and a son. In our society, we hear a lot about equality among women and men, and I believe that to a certain extent. But we have to remember that men and women are different, and we have to raise them differently. You know, I believe I was harder on my son because another aspect, as we all are parents, but we are black parents, and we have a double duty to raise them. First is being productive women in society, productive men in society, but we also have to teach them how to be a black woman in society and to be a black man in society. And so I try to instill those values in them about the differences. You know, his duties around the house and their duties around the house were different, although, like he said, his mother taught him to cook. the name fails me now. Audrice. But my mother said, if you're waiting on a woman to feed you, you're going to starve. So we cooked. I taught him to cook versus just focusing on them as far as cooking. You know, those kind of gender roles I never really agreed with, that you do for your brother because he's a boy, but I do believe he do for you because you are a woman. You know, so those kind of gender biases, I believe we have to have in a society. I'm all for women's equal rights. I believe that if a female doctor performs a surgery and a male doctor performs a surgery, they should be paid equal compensation, you know. But there are jobs that men can do that women can't do. And so there are differences in our society, and that's okay. You know, it's nothing wrong with my mindset when we get up to leave this wonderful place called the Den, that when we head to the door, I'm going to hold that door for these ladies. You know, they should expect that of me as a man. And I try to instill that kind of mindset into my son, and to expect that. I want my daughters to expect that men are going to treat them a certain way. Even if they don't, you are a lady in this society. You are a woman, and there is a place for men and for women in this society. You know, so that raising those kids differently, we have to as parents, but we also have to teach them all the same but different at the same time.
All right. Slim, what you got, Slim?
So my son, again, is 22 years old, and he's, you know, he experienced a lot of things when the children came with me when we split up. He started acting out, and I try to explain certain things to him on a certain level, but he just could not understand it. So he started cutting up. So he had to go live with his father. Okay, and the one thing that I can say about my ex-husband, he's an excellent father. He's no nonsense. He's not getting ready to deal with any nonsense from the children. He really got him back in line. And it wasn't the fact of him whooping him and stuff like that. He really came from, he's Fifth Ward too. He went to Madison, but he did not play, you know, when it came to his daughter either. He wasn't really emotional, but he taught them respect, especially for parents. But he taught him how to be a man. I couldn't teach him how to be a man. I had to let him go. It hurt me because he's my baby. But even though he moved on to another relationship, he let her know that he was his father and he needed to raise him as such. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, you don't like this word, Chris, but she is a alpha female. And I had to explain to her that you cannot be so brash with these young men. You cannot. You have to, I think somebody said, you got to let a man be a man. You have to. And I had to learn that too. I had to be submissive in some, if you're worth it, I'm going to be submissive. I am, to a point. You're not going to run over me or talk to me any kind of way. But I know that I have to dial some things down because I have a strong attitude at times. But to your point, young men have to be raised by men. They have to be. I had to swallow my pride, and he just had to go with his father. And he is a great young man. He's very respectable, and I love him to death. But I was so happy that I made that decision that he had to be raised by a man. Yeah.
Cool. Shot-town Chris.
Well, I have a different perspective on it because I have none, but I have about 7 that call me dad because of how I've always treated them. There hasn't been a little one under 18 that has ever crossed my path that didn't always keep up with me to tell me what I meant to him. And so that meant something to me. I won't say much on it because it's a lot of things that I deal with it with youth. But you can't raise him to be Superman if she's not going to be Lois Lane. You know, boys are made to be. You know, we always problem solvers. You know, get up, don't cry, all this other stuff that to keep it tough. But you know, if I can't be transparent with the woman that I trust my life with, then there's something wrong. I can't be hard all day. You know, but you have to also understand that you can't take that as a tool to use against him. You know, there's a difference between a male and a man, and many of us have that twisted. There's a lot of males walking around here, but you have to watch their consistency about who the men are. You know, you become a lady, that's a character. That's not something you get because you're 21. You're a woman when you start your cycle. You're a mother when you have a product, and you can see, I did that. But it's just the little things. Verbiage means something. We take a lot of words and throw them somewhere. The difference is, you know, a lot of women are a particular way because it keeps them comfortable, keeps them safe. You know, if you behave a certain way, it's because Snapper's not confrontational. She's never been confrontational. She snaps when you've played games with her. It's just that simple. She will love on you. She's going to tell you exactly who she is all the time in whatever order you want to put it in. Those that respect it and those that clown her about it. I've openly told her this. She knows how I treat her and what I mean to her. But it's other folks that will sit up there and sniggle and giggle and laugh in her face, and I'll tell her, motherfucker, lying to you. Because I'm built that way. Well, I mean, I like the truth. We don't like the truth anymore. We've been lying so long that the truth seems like it's a problem. So we come up, oh, he confrontational, oh, he militant. No, I just have a pair. It's a lot of men out here that's males that's just moist as hell. And you think that it's okay. This is what is common out here. And so if you want to have a product out here that you want to have as a nice young man, he needs to be involved with a lot of things. You know, I had certain guys around me, and I took certain things about them and adopted them to me. You know, my father was there, but I knew the situation between my mother and father, so I made adjustments. It's about making, what are you built from? It's a lot of us are not, we built with lace and stuff now, and it's not burlap sack anymore, and we okay with that. So that's the problem. There's a difference in raising boys. You know, when any of you that had a daughter, you were like, yeah, oh, Lord, because you knew what was coming. Like he said, I thought I was cursed. You knew what was coming. You knew you was out here doing all of the disrespectful stuff. See, so, you know, so however it rolls around, we do certain things, and we have to learn from them. Everything is about the experiences. You know, women don't answer horns, but a lot of horns honk and they turn around. Who is that? Wait a minute, where you get that from? What is the wrong? Men have always been simple. We've always been simple. Stand at the door. He gonna open it. If he doesn't, what you going on a date with him for? Why are you standing there? Why are you sitting down first? You know, all this other stuff, coat, all of this. He pull up and won't even come meet nobody in the house. You know, so it's what you expect. What you expect from a man, you ask for it. And if you're talking about making a product with him, it's a multiplier and a multiplicant. It's too much potluck going on. That's why a lot of these kids are just reckless, because you're not creating anything.
Yeah, raising young men and young women. It's we just talk about parenting overall, but there is a double standard in how we raise our kids. We all know that. We all know we treat boys different than we treat girls. But nowadays, it almost seems like the girls are becoming harder than the boys. The boys are getting more pussified. I hate to say that. That's the word I'm going to use for it. If you even listen to rap music, the women are more aggressive. That's the word I wanted to look. Aggressive than the guys. Then, but you don't want to be on the show, but you want to talk on the sideline. But that's all right. But no, we live in a double standard. We live in a double standard world, and everything is different. The rules are different than we do for girls and we do for boys. It's not gonna change. It's gonna forever be that. We're gonna forever treat our daughters like princes.
Question for you.
Uh-huh.
As you see, I did not answer any of the questions you just had because I don't have any kids. So
Okay.
I don't have a dog in that. And that he said I need to have some. No, I do not. I'm not married. I do
Okay.
not plan to have kids unless I'm married. That is my plan. Of course, we have kids that are wedlock and everything. Or you can divorce and da 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 da. That's just not my path. I choose not to have. So anyway, you made me think about. I forgot what I was thinking about. My question was, I forgot what it
question.
was. Oh yeah. So what do you think could change that? How women are becoming more brash, or what would you say, aggressive? What do you think could change for that, or do you think there's no hope? Men have to change first.
Hand on the mic. I'm gonna let him answer first. And
So Pop.
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't mean
Coco.
to, I didn't mean to grab the mic but I've been saying for a long time the reason why women are becoming more aggressive because they are having to raise the boys. The men are not there. You know, we make these babies, but we don't want to raise them. And I'm talking about the men. You know, we after the baby here, oh, she tripping. And you know what? Sometimes women are tripping. They don't like the woman. And then the babies suffer because the man not mature enough to say, all right, I don't like the woman right now, but I love my son. And I need to be in his life. You know, we always talking about what other races do to us, and we do it to ourselves. You know, and we can't control what the woman do, but we could be held accountable for what we do. You know, child support is so big now. You know, why they got to put child support on you? You know that's your son. You know he need a man in his life. But you got you another broad, making you another baby, making this world worse. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to hold up to your responsibility. So, and you're running the mama life because she got to be the mama and daddy. So I think if men take more responsibility and don't let their feelings get involved with the woman, and think about that child didn't ask to be here. So my job is not to worry about how the lady feel or our relationship. My job is to raise what I produced. Yeah. And you know, my daddy, he wasn't there. He wasn't in the house with me, but I'm gonna tell you something. As I got older, we built a great relationship, and when my grandmother used to threaten me, say, "I'm gonna call your daddy," whatever he was doing, he was gonna handle it. If he had to give up his domino game, his pool game, his drinking game, his courting game, he was coming to handle that. And right now today, I respect him for it. That's one thing he taught me. You know what I mean? I didn't want another guy in the house raising my daughters. You know what I mean? And my first wife, she passed now, bless her soul. But whatever we was going through, my daughters wasn't gonna be the yes, they're mine. Not yours, they mine. You know what I mean? You can get up and leave, but I'm gonna be there. And right now today they tell me, you know what, Daddy? you was all right. You know, and they bring me to tears when they tell me that.
Here we go. No, there's a saying that you never tear down a fence until you know why it was built. You feel me? Because that fence is there to protect, right? I'll think about what you said when you was talking about your husband having an outside child, right? There's a lot of men that got different compartments in their mind so depth that the average woman can't deal with. Think about a man having an outside child and then to turn around and love that child, which he's supposed to, right? But it's a betrayal because you took something from me.
Gave your emotions away.
You know what I'm saying? It's a betrayal because now I have your child and you love that child more than you love me. You know what I'm saying? And I have to swallow that. So I think that as men, everything corrupted once man touched it. And I think that we have to get back to fatherhood. Or if not, because the Bible says you got to be a father to the father and be a mother to the motherless, right? And my sheep know my voice. Are you able to hear that voice when somebody's talking to you, meeting you? And I think that's a lot of depth in that. You know? That's it. Thank you.
He got a mic back there.
I got a mic.
Got a mic back there.
I want to let me sprinkle a little Bible on that. You know, it speaks about, you know, wives submitting themselves unto the church, unto their husbands, like Christ submitted himself unto the church. You know, that's an earning issue. If someone walked in here and had on all black, gloves and everything, and robbed us all, there's very little we could tell the police because we have no description, right? But if you knew it was one of us, you could give it the whole detail down to the shoes they had on, correct? Many of us don't have descriptions of what men are. So you're making children with people who tell you something but not showing you. I can't show you the world and I can't even get a passport. I said that earlier. I can't even take you off the south side of Houston, but I'm talking about showing you the world and you believe in it. We do not hold people accountable for the things that they say. My mother used to tell me, I love you all. I said, Mom, I know y'all love you. She said, yeah, but boy, I need you to hear it too, besides just showing it. You know, love is a choice. We can put any connotation on there. It's a choice, not force. It's being there because I want to be there. How do you trust me with your life every time we get naked, doing everything, but you can't trust me with information? You will tell your girlfriend there's a problem between us before you tell me, and you sleep with me. That's a problem for me. How do we do that? It all centers back to the same word I said before. It's the respect issue. What are you really here for? So, what is a man's purpose? You don't want any children, we're not doing this, that, and other. Whatever the case is, what are we doing? One of us is using the other one. Either it's for the cookie or for the bag. You know, so like we have a lot of wholesome women who hang around hoes. We don't know the difference. You can't do that. Who you are is who you attract. Corrupt conversation make corrupt people. So it's about the behavior. It's a lesson. You know, there was a time, you know, I remember when Obama was in office, everybody loved Michelle. I remember when Erykah Badu was all the way 3/4 clothed. Now she's showing nothing but ass shots. Because we compromising everything for the sake of money. We doing everything because it's attractive. A lot of men don't know how to shave. That's really why he had a beard. But now women love beards, so you got to put a beard on. Just because it's cute. She likes it. Most of what we do is for her attention. And then you lying. Your intentions are not pure. But if you know that, like I said, you knew I was raggedy when you met me. Since you got all this intuition. But we can't go back and forth with whose fault it is, this, that, and the other. A nation can rise no higher than its woman. There's a reason why the pig wallows in the slop. That's why a lot of men like rats. It's a little effort. It's little effort. That's why you like the old dirty leg. Hey, how you doing? And she get naked. That's just that easy. You know, so it's like, and I tell women all the time, you did nothing wrong. He gave you a bag of $3 bills. You just saw the 100 on the top, and you never investigated it. So now you go and cash it in. You wait a minute, all this is phony. Well, you too far in now. Your light come on your car. You think it's a pretty dashboard. No, get it serviced.
Service.
The light come on your phone. You hurry up and hit the button. But you won't do that when your light come on in your relationship. Yeah. See, my engagement is when we said we gonna do this together. That's my engagement. What ring size is it? See, when I tell women, when you know you the shit, you shouldn't be surprised when I want to marry you. What you doing all that for? You should know you the shit. You should have been waiting on me.
Hey, Slim. Man, Chris, I appreciate that. God damn
I'm
it,
gonna touch
Chris.
on two things.
All right.
I'm gonna go back to what you were saying about the outside child. Yeah, it was a devastating thing. That would be devastating for anything. A lot of times, women are able to take on so very much, and when you stay with a man for whatever reason, because you love him, because of the children, whatever reason you do. Unfortunately, I did not. It just took a lot out of me. I tried, but it was a lot. And I really, really, like I say, I give all honor to God because it was a lot for me. My son was conceived after their child, okay? It wasn't a get back because I didn't want any more children. I'm an only child. I did want to, but I wanted to have it with my husband in that marriage. And yes, I went back and I was still married to him. I was separated, but I was still married. I wanted the marriage, but it was just too difficult for me. And again, I was able to forgive the situation because I wanted to be forgiven. I truly believe that's the only way that I was able to get past that. Again, I did not blame. I did not tell my children this is what happened because they were little and they didn't need to have that on them. So when they got older, adults, I explained it, and he did too. We both apologized to our children, and we get along fine now. We get along, everything is fine. So I just want to address one thing with what he was saying. I heard what you were saying. Everybody has characteristics. When a person becomes an adult, they make the decisions that they make. You're either going to conform to whatever is negative or whatever is positive. I don't have negative things in my being. I just don't. And I try to disassociate myself with negativity. I try to pour into a person being positive. I do. So when you say that people hang with, whatever a person chooses to do, that person is an adult. Whatever they choose to do, that is their business. That's nobody else's business, and they shouldn't be judged for it. Whatever I do is my business. So if I choose to hang with 10,000 hookers, hoes, pimps, prostitutes, or whoever, but I'm not Jesus, but I'm not going to judge nobody because I don't have the right to judge anyone. You're who you are, and I'm going to love you for who you are. And I love you, Chris.
You severely misunderstood that.
No, but I love you for what you said because you said you want banter. That's banter. That is us speaking as adults. That's us agreeing to disagree. Because I agree with what you say. That's your opinion. But I'm going to also have my opinion as well. Okay? And that's all.
All right. Well, look here, man. Hey, this has been it's been a really great episode. talking about parenting and getting different perspectives from other people. I wish that young lady would have came because she's young and we want to hear somebody in that age group. We always want to hear different age groups, and that's what this is all about. I told y'all once before. Next week, when we do come back, the question is friends' blood thicker than family blood?
Sometimes it is.
That's what we get into next week. Remember this question: is a friend's blood thicker than family blood? Because we've all been there and seen that. Right after this, I'm gonna close up with closing remarks. I just want to thank everybody for coming on the panel again. We ready to close it? I can go close it. All right. So once again, I want to thank my panel. I want to thank Drees, Coco, Snapper, Combo, Chad, Slim, and Chris for being a part of this, man. That means a lot. Big Stick Energy, man. Big Stick Energy. Follow us, Big Stick Energy, HTX on Instagram. We here at the Den every Thursday, 7 o'clock. If you want to be a part of it, you can also come in and join us. If we don't get you on the panel this week, we'll eventually get you on the panel if you want to come out and hang out with us and have a good time. This show is sponsored by Brock Brand. Also, Quad Houston. Quad Houston, the great food, the great drinks, the great vibe that we have at this place. And also the Den Cigar Lounge, which we bring the Big Stick Energy right here to you. And this podcast is all about real people, real issues, and what's going on in our community, either here in Houston or anywhere else. So we invite everybody to come out and join us. Next week, the reason why I said I want to do that next week, because I want to dedicate that show to one of my close friends that passed away the other day. R.I.P. to him. He was a brother that meant a lot to me. I've been knowing him since I was 3 years old. And only thing I'm going to say about him, anytime I was with the shits, he was with the shits. So next week we're going to do that, and I'm going to dedicate that show to him. So I want everybody to come out and join us and have a good time. And once again, I want to thank all y'all, man. Y'all mean a lot. I love you guys. I love you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Once again, Big Stick Energy, HTX, Instagram. Check us out next time. We're rolling it out to you on March the 1st, and it's Pisces season, my season. So we're going to have a good time next month. So once again, Big Stick Energy right here at the Den. The Den is located 4608 Almeda along with Quad Houston. Make sure you make your way over here. Let's have a good time. Stay blessed out there, and I thank everybody for tuning in and having a good time with us. Thank you.
No more. I never pull up with that list in the phone. When I smoke cigars, it ain't just for the show. I'm blessed from the dough and known for my city. I send a nigga, baby, mama.